What's up, guys? GTR and Le Based Taste is back.
Tasty Taste?
No, not taste, based taste.
Base Taste?
Yes.
As we're back here, CJ against Jin. Two really quick games, actually.
Yeah, I mean, this might be a short day. Let's hope herO can pull this one along here. You know, SOS is not in any leagues right now. He's got nothing else to do but win Pro League games.
He's like innovation.
Yeah, so I'm kind of leaning towards SOS. Also, I cast BlizzCon, so I'm kind of used to SOS dominating. But herO is somebody you definitely don't want to count out.
Yeah, herO is one of the more underappreciated Pro Tossers here in Korea. Him, SOS, and Zess are arguably the three best Pro Tossers.
Yeah, no, they are. They're the Triforce of Protoss,
yeah.
If you want to think about it like that. I mean, they're really good, man. So this is going to be a treat to cast, this PvP. I tend to always default in assuming SOS is going to win, because every time in my past at GSL, when I count him out, he still wins. And then he wins like so much money in these international events. It's crazy.
I mean, to be fair though, SOS, he played a really good game against Zest, I believe, in a PvP, and he had really nice ideas from that game where he got Tempest out early, I believe, and even though he lost that game, there was a lot of neat things from that.
Yeah, let's see what he's got in store for us this time around. Best of one PvP can be kind of funny. Dusk Towers is going to be the map. herO's also shown us he has a very deep understanding of PvP, and I'd say the more I feel like it's like this. It's like herO's got the PvP. Like, I know my unit comp. Okay, I know the standard builds to do. SOS is like, I'm a crazy genius. Okay, I can do builds that nobody's ever seen before, and you can't prepare for it. And that's sort of what we're working with here. Now, how much will this map allow SOS or herO to utilize their skill sets? That's a tough one.
Feels like Pro League is sort of catered for SOS's strengths, which is those crazy builds that he always comes up with. But herO's a very solid player, and
super adaptable as well.
It's adaptable, and herO has that tendency, even though he kind of like sticks to one main build over and over. No, he can adapt. He can adapt.
Yeah, well, I think it's more like he's just got the control like down, and he also has a very good sense. He's done some cool rushes here too. Then again, I mean, SOS historically has done some crazy ones as well. But I don't know. I always feel like SOS is going to win. I always feel like I don't think I've ever not predicted SOS to win after maybe 2013.
That was his first BlizzCon win, right?
Let me see here. His first BlizzCon win, that was 2014. No, so I'm sorry, 2014.
Yes.
Yeah. That was when I looked at it. I'm like, okay, this guy is really good. And I don't know, not having any other leagues to play in.
That works a lot.
Maybe I'm too much of an SOS fan. I don't know. I think he's really solid, man. Let's see though. This might be our best match though today.
Yeah, on paper this is definitely the best match of today.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
This and Innovation versus Solo on paper are the best two matches.
Well, and
all
I think as far as actual games, that was our best game so far today was Innovation versus Solar. I'm not sure what to expect here. PvP has always been an intriguing matchup, more so in Starcraft 2 than even Brood War. It's just allowed for so many different kinds of builds, and seeing how the different builds interact with each other and you know, how they end up engaging each other. Plus, when you have a matchup that has so many different builds, you end up being able to psych out and fake a lot of stuff to your opponent. So there's like so many mind games involved.
I definitely love in Legacy of the Void, we've been seeing a lot of Disruptor play in PvP, and we were playing a lot of micro maps yesterday in Brood War.
That was fun,
Disruptors are pretty much Reavers.
Yeah, it's like they've taken the concept of the Reaver and they've just modified it in a way to make it interesting and fresh and new. And we've seen that used with Warp Prisms pretty effectively. Oh man, I hope we're not having more technical issues, because we already had. Normally we jump into the game right now. We actually had herO when I was casting with Valdez, pausing. I think he got a yellow card.
Like the referee just showed a yellow card, or?
Well, whatever the equivalent is. Like
a penalty point.
Penalty point. Yellow card, whatever. He received one of those, so hopefully there's no technical issues. Normally we jump into it, but
both players aren't in the game right now, so
could be a network issue. We'll keep you guys posted. Sit tight. But you know, with the Disruptor, we've seen some cool combinations, right? Stalker Disruptor play is quite interesting, and it kind of seems like it can beat anything if it's controlled right. And then we have more traditional play, which is more balanced, like Zealots with some Immortals and some Archons. Great for pushing, great for defending, but sometimes, especially in a map where you got a big spread and you got a long distance to walk, it might not be the best way to play.
And even in other matchups such as PvT, we've been seeing a lot of, well, not a lot of, but some players such as Stork, for example, in PvT, use that disruptor like a Reaver, using the Warp Prism to pick up the disruptor, fire the shot, to pick it up, and then rinse and repeat, because that forces the opponent to just multitask there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. When you see the disruptor come out and actually do harass, and we've even seen this in PvP too. I think Deer is the one that comes to mind for me most, where he would actually get a disruptor behind the army and then try to come in from an angle.
Flank.
Yeah, because one thing you can actually utilize in any Starcraft you're playing is that you can't zoom all the way out on the screen. So where you're choosing to focus your attention visually is where you're going to actually see what's coming. So if you have disruptors come in from the side, they might not be able to respond in time, and that's something pretty huge as well. PvP overall has changed so much in Legacy.
Yeah, from Wings of Liberty to Heart of Swarm, now to Legacy of the Void. I think PvP has been the matchup that has evolved the most, in my opinion.
I think so. We've also seen DTs and Adepts used in different ways in this matchup. It's funny. I think it's just the fact that Protoss has always been a race historically in StarCraft that can do a variety of different strategies against their opposing race, except in PvP Brood War.
Yeah.
That was pretty mapped out. I mean, there were still some builds. There was DT rushes, there was some 2-gate rushes, but it kind of came down eventually to the generic Protoss army, Zealots, Dragoons, sometimes Reavers, High Templars with Storm, et cetera, et cetera. And but when when Wings of Liberty came out, that got turned on its head.
It was just literally just Colossus, Colossus, Colossus. And now with Legacy of the Void now, we barely see Colossus these days.
Yeah, occasionally we see like one that comes in at certain moments, but yeah, for the most part, the Colossus, I think it's the lack of mobility and the fact that maybe the other robo units are better. When you get a robo, it's a lot different than having a lot of gateways. Because you only have one or two of them. So
the robotics is more of a supplement to the gateway units than you build a lot of robotics and get a lot of units from them.
I'd also say it's like a hinge. It's like the latch for your army, right? Like whatever you're getting out of the robotics bay, that's allowing the rest of your army to work. If it's observers, okay, now you can spot where their army is. You can get detection, find expansions. Is it a warp prism? Now you can actually push correctly, right? Or you can harass correctly. Let's say it's a disruptor. Now you can harass, you can actually force them to run, or as a result, if they don't run, blow up their army. Or the Colossus allows you to get some pushing stability. And that's why whenever you watch Protoss games, I don't know if I've highlighted this enough, but this is a good way to think about how StarCraft 2 operates. Is if you're watching a Protoss, keep an eye on how much of his robo units he's losing versus good trades. Or blunders, right? Like when an Immortal's running away and that gets gunned down and doesn't really do anything versus like having a fair fight against some Stalkers. Because PvP, especially, a lot of this is sort of centered around that tech tree, especially in mid-game and late game.
Yeah, and something that we need to mention as well with the Disruptor is that it has a lot of good defensive capability as well, because if you leave a couple disruptors at your base and your opponent tries to push in, you can use it to buy time and wait until your next warp in or whatever units come out of your robotics.
It's also funny when we have Disruptor versus Disruptor here. That's actually when it gets like
crazy.
It gets kind of crazy. And there's these whole little games inside the game of micro techniques that you can use when you're in a fight like that as well. But I'm not sure why we're still sitting here talking. I hope there's no other issues or delays here. But yeah, I started to realize that we've been here for a long time, and I was like, man, I really want to see this game going. We're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll start our match here at the SPL. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? Thanks for your patience. We should be starting this match shortly here. This is the SPL with Tasteless and GTR, and we're going to be going into, I think, the best PvP you could really ask for here today. herO against sOs.
Yes, as we mentioned before the break, herO, sOs, and Zest, you could pretty much consider them the titans of Protoss right now in Korea.
And Deer.
And you want 4 instead of 3?
Yeah.
Well,
it's no longer the Triforce of Protoss, it's the square of Protoss.
The quadrumvirate? Is that the word?
That is definitely not the word, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know how you can't normally make the 4 horsemen. Okay, there we go.
Yes,
all right, we can build a good narrative here. Well, we don't have herO in the game. I was told that SOS needed some more time, but now we see herO. Oh man, I'm getting a little bit worried here. The GTR. We might be out here chatting and bantering for a little bit longer because.
It seems like both players have technical issues. Looking at it.
Well, I think SOS is okay. I might be wrong. I think he's okay. We might be informed in a little bit here as to what the issue is, but I see herO and I see what I think is 2 refs, and I think it was a coach in the booth.
Yeah.
Now, guys, when you get a penalty point here in Pro League, it stays with you, okay?
Like
for the season. So herO already got one.
Like playoff qualification has actually been. As we see the predictions here, you and Kanata predicting SOS here. The rest of us predicting herO. But
my boy Kanata, man.
But as I was mentioning before, is that because penalty points are so important to not get because they can make basically.
They can make your team lose.
Yeah, there's actually been instances in the past where a penalty point has stopped a team. I believe it was Janair from qualifying for the playoffs. That's how important they are.
No, it's really serious. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get a penalty point. Last time it was because he had paused multiple times, claiming that his one key was not working. They thought it was the keyboard, and then when they actually opened it up, they checked, and in fact, it was
his hotkey settings,
not bound.
Yeah,
it was not bound. Obviously, we might have some new viewers here. I'm sure a lot of these guys watch a lot of Starcraft too, but if you're in an RTS game and you just pause in the middle of it, even at the start of it, I mean, that throws people off rhythm, right?
It's very bad etiquette.
And it was actually, it's bad etiquette. I mean, it's bad, even to do if you're like in a ladder game or like a serious match, for any kind of tournament, and they basically don't really allow it anymore unless it's like, my monitor went out and I can't see, and that's happened. We've had players accidentally kick the monitor cord or monitor cable out. We've had, or like my entire keyboard's not working. Oh my god! Oh my god!
But the thing is, they have to type PP right to ask the referee to pause the game. So I believe the protocol is that they have to wave the hand like this.
Yep. Well,
and then
I
the
think
referee
we usually keep one
the
ref
referee
in the
behind
booth,
and then they see the problem and then they ask for a pause.
Right. But if you have an issue where, like, we had this initially in the start of StarCraft 2, where there was a hotkey to turn off sound, and so a lot of players would accidentally turn off sound and then stop the game.
And they're like,
and then the ref goes in the booth and hits the hotkey to turn that back on, and sometimes they get penalized for that because you gotta, if you're gonna do that, because theoretically a player, let's say he's against a build he doesn't know, or let's say he forgot what his build was or whatever it is, could theoretically pause a game and then try to map out or regain his cool or whatever it is he has to do. So we don't allow for that. But right now we're seeing that herO's not in the game, and I don't know why, but it can't be good.
Well, if we're waiting this long for the game to start, it has to be a pretty serious
problem. This has got to be serious. Weird, too, because he just last time I cast him with Valdez, I think it was actually Tuesday, had a similar problem. So, I mean, this is pretty bad. This is a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety right now. By the way, I mean, Jinair's got to be
really annoyed because they have the momentum. They're 2 games ahead.
Hey, man, I might be happy with this if I were them, man. Easy peasy possible win here. The other guy getting all stressed out, getting nervous. You kidding me? I would love to have that if I was Jinair.
We'll just have to wait and see if this game actually starts because
now we have SOS leaving the game.
So they might have to remake the lobby. I'm not too sure here.
Jay, can you give us an update if you have one to see what's actually going on here? If you're able to find that out in the next few minutes, because right now we're in a bit of an odd spot right now. It's like it was about to go. Something happened. I'm not sure what the deal is.
SOS had to fix his problems. His problem got fixed, and then herO had to fix his problem.
Well, SOS's problem normally at GSL is that he wants, like, we have
lighting or something.
We have these big lights set around the studio, and a lot of times when the game starts, they say you need to turn the light off. It's actually bothering me. We've had a history of different players in RTS who've shown up. We've had. I believe, who was it that used the ruler? Was that Flash or was that Jada?
Yes.
Okay, it was Flash would show up with a ruler on the desk, and he would actually measure out where his keyboard was, where his mouse was, chair height, I believe, as well. My brother, day 9, when we would go to tournaments, he would load his computer chair up into the car.
Oh,
We
so
would
he brought
drive.
his own chair.
He would bring his own chair. He would not play in another chair. I've seen a lot of different players with a lot of different quirks, and we try to give them as much room and leeway as possible so that they can actually play, the very best they can. But it's also, the duty of the player to have everything set up. We allow players to come in here early, test out their equipment, to make sure that they have all their ducks in a row, for lack of a really cool term, so that they're ready to actually play their match so they don't actually delay the program.
Yeah, so we're just in the dark right now. We're not really sure what the problem is, what the issue is. We're just playing it by ear
We'll find
right
out
now.
shortly here. So how are you liking casting so far?
It's very hard, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing so far.
Yeah,
a lot of improvement.
it's fun. It's fun. It's weird though. It's weird when you actually start to do it. Where you're
especially when you've watched I've watched Pro League since it first started.
Oh yeah, and now you're actually here.
It's like a lifelong dream to
You're
be
here,
casting
man.
Starcraft.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you down here, man. I really appreciate
it's always
it.
a pleasure.
We also have Wolf
fun.
and Valdez. They're in Poland right now.
Yes.
They're going to be casting for IEM, so definitely check that out this weekend. That should be a lot of fun. And yeah, it's good to have you down here casting. I think I've been doing this for like 10 years.
Since 2008, I think, in Korea at least.
Yeah, I've been here for 8 years in Korea. I've probably been casting for like 11. If you guys are just now joining us, something bad is going on. See, the mouse driver is not working. Oh man! So they're swapping the PCs out now. A tense moment here for herO, because this is the second time this has happened in 2 weeks. SOS right now good to go. Tension's high right now as Jin Air is in a 2-0 lead, and herO has to be part of the comeback or they lose.
The thing is, though, is that they have 2 PCs in the booths, and I'm really surprised to see that the drivers aren't working right now. So
here's the problem: is that we always have a backup PC at any esports event we're at because, stuff happens on computers. They don't always work perfectly, but there could be a greater issue if they swap the PC out and the issue remains. Also, if I understand correctly, the PCs that they use in the back are always the same models.
yes.
So let's see what happens here, because normally this is not a good sign.
Yes.
And I don't know. I mean, are you a stickler with like your settings for your PC when you play, or can you just like hop on any PC and?
Well, it depends what I'm working with. If it's like very old equipment or it feels very icky, like if I go to PC Bung, that's fine. Because PC Bunks here in Korea actually have really good equipment most of the time.
Yeah, for the most part. Unless you go to one of those ghetto PC.
In like the
there
alleyway.
are some ghetto PC cafes I've been in. But most of the time, yeah. Probably the ones that you're going to, the ones that I would go to.
Yeah.
I actually got a really good PC cafe I should show you that's it's near my house.
Oh, I think I know the ZPC.
I don't actually know the name of it.
It's like a huge building, right?
No, it's not. This one's in a basement, but it's, when you go down there, it's pretty nice. It's pretty bougie, man. It's where the baller nerds go. Spend their dollar bills.
There's actually a really nice PC Bung where you live in Seongsu, where they actually do the qualifiers for the SSL and GSL now, because the old venue at Shindarim, the Technomart, that's what they used to do. They actually shut that down, so they have to move to a new
I'm not
venue.
surprised they moved that, but it would actually make more sense to do that in a PC cafe anyways.
Yeah, also there's like production facilities there, so if they want to cast the broad qualifiers, they can without too much of a hassle.
It's just much more doable to do it out there. That's actually where all the esports tournaments in Korea started. They started in PC cafes, yeah.
Yep, so basically, okay, let's do a history lesson here. How tournaments started in Korea is that you basically had the PC bungs, and then you'd find out who the best player in the PC bung was. And then after you get the best player in the PC bung, that would represent their PC bung at the local district.
The PC cafes actually started out like mini teams.
Yes.
They were like little clubs. And, there's like a PC cafe. Well, it used to be even bigger like about a decade ago. But there's anywhere you walk, if you walk for 3 or 4 minutes down a street in Korea, you will see
PC bung.
PC cafe, possibly more than one. So this all sort of started out like that. It would make more sense that there would be more tournaments directed actually to PC cafes. But where were we? I forget what we were talking about.
We're talking about how PC bungs pretty much started the whole esports
it's like
scene here with Brood War.
Yeah, I think one thing about Starcraft, especially when you go back to the old Starcraft, you can't really appreciate the game until you've seen somebody else play, specifically in person. If you actually see somebody who's like really good playing, and you know, a lot of people, that was one of these moments, you know, in the early days of esports where people kind of freaked out, like, whoa, that guy's really fast. I mean, considering that most of these guys actually, especially if you're not in Korea, started playing at home, they played the game a little bit more like it was SimCity. Believe it or not, that was how this game was approached in a lot of parts of the world. Or like, I don't know, you know these sandbox games, right?
Like,
These
yeah.
guys that play like this with one hand on their chin.
And they click on all the hotkeys and stuff.
And they would play it in a much slower way. So when people started seeing that in person, like, oh my God, this guy's fast. This guy's really, really good.
We had the entire team actually in the booth, so this has to be like a really frustrating thing for the CJ
Yeah, this
team
is
right
bad.
now.
This is bad. We got the PC being changed out here. That was really, though, when people actually started to realize with StarCraft, in PC Cafe specifically, they were like, oh my God. You know, they'd see some player playing, and everybody would be like, man, this guy's sick.
And
This is
everyone's
crazy.
striving to beat that player because that
Right.
guy's the king of the PC bung. And I think from memory, a lot of the PC bungs in Korea that have like rewards. For example, if you beat this player in a best of 3, then you'd have like maybe 10 hours free game time because that was like the player that everyone wanted to beat in at the PC bung. But yeah, as how esports started was that you'd have tournaments in the PC bung to find out the best player, and then you'd send that best player from the PC bung to play in the local district tournament. And then it kept building till you got to the national tournament, which was KBK, if you remember that.
I remember KBK, man.
And everyone used to abuse on that ladder as well.
And it was one of those things, like, that was, how long ago was that, actually?
1999, I think?
1999. I think they had some non-Koreans that played in KBK as
Yeah,
well.
really old school Korean, non-Korean players, like
us.
NTT.
NTT, I don't think Tillerman played in that one. It was also
Because I think
there was a guy named Slayer who was like not Slayer's boxer, and I think
he
he
was
was
a
from
Norwegian,
Norway.
yes.
He was from Norway.
He race picked.
All right, guys, we're going to take another break here. Sit tight, and hopefully we will have this matter resolved shortly. We'll be back here at the SPL.
그렇죠. 저는 그 NMORPG라든지 뭐 이런 것들도 무조건 사람 볼. 오그 이런 거. 무조건 후원. 그래요. 최근에는 후원 되게 많이 하시더라고요. 하는 게임은 좀 다릅니다. 네. 처음에 생각하시다가 살아가시다가 안 끝나시더라가지고 오래 가지 않고 상대 영치만을 계획 수 있는 이런 계획이 오버워치로 나왔고요. 네. 또 스타트 오버워치, 스타스포 신경 쓰고 있었죠. 마음도 있습니다. 네. 워크랜드 아직 치는 분도 계시고. 하다가 가고 재밌는 것 같아요. 잘 나가요. 지금 소리도 굉장히 그렇죠. 장기훈 선수하고 그렇죠. 네. 근데 어떻게 하는지 알 것 같아요. 머스리. 어떻게 생각하는데 머스리가 우리나라에서 그렇게 많이진 않습니다. 그러게요. 스타트와 워스의 공부전. 하는 것도 재밌는데 보는 것도 재밌다. 막 뛰어 맞습니다. 저는 되게 이상한 말 하시다가 스타트 워스를 공부전. 그럼 안 되죠. 엄청난 느낌을 느끼는 진정한 느낌을 하면 안 돼요. 그만 좀 하세요. 이거 왜 느낌이라고 해요, 사람들은. 저 옛날에 WCD 갔을 때, 콘서트 갔을 때, 그때 버스 그때 했었거든요. 저는 관리장성이 그냥 사람이, 와, 정말 깜짝 놀랐어요. 그래서 중국이 조금 더 스타트를 잘하는 굉장히 조금만 기다려주십시오. 익혀보겠습니다. 중국과 이런 중국 다시 중국 효과의 어떤 시너지를 위해서 뭔가 만들어가야 돼요. 그러니까요. 시너지를 만들려면 중국을 좀 본인 몸 좋은 것 같은데 사람을 어디서 쓰나요? 네. 중국하면 또 유연한 사람이 있습니다. 저희 마치 그 매트릭스 얘기 같아요. 그걸 한번 얘기해도 유대형으로 근데 진짜 중국 시장만 잡으면 진짜 이거는 그래서 끝입니다. 근데 중국 이제 선수들이 저도 많이 생각하는 그런 것이 있어요. 네. 그래서 이제 한국 선수들이 중국에 가서는 지금 깨끗한 좋은 주고 거기에 팬들을 갖고 나오고 한국으로 연예인들만 가는 게 아니라 게임으로 근데 괜찮아요. 중국은 5%만 가도 5초 만입니다. 괜찮은 거. 지금 중국이 중국은 거의 10억이 걸리죠. 아마 지금 김준호 선수가 좀 가장 중요할 것 같아요. 그렇죠. 저럴 때는 선수가 제일 중요해요. 깜나고 야구인에서 경기가 지연되고 있으니까 이거 어떡하지? 이럴 수 있는데 충분히 생기긴 해야죠. 팀 여기에 오시면 돼요. 여기까지 왔을 때 그냥 아직도 남아야 할 수가 없어요. 그냥 가는 사람은요. 승부입니다. 진짜입니다 이거는. 정말 자신이 원하는 승부를 갖추고 해야 그냥 진정한 그 영웅을 부르더라고요. 그냥 진짜 없어요. 저는 일상 그냥 있어요. 뒤에서 스태프팀이 자 5분 됐습니다. 그러면은 알겠습니다. 세팅이 안 됐어요. 굉장히 바로 들어갑니다. 시간에 정말 잘 지키는 선수였는데요. 네. 그래서 물론 그런 징계 아니라 세팅이 안 됐으면 지금은 많이들 e스포츠 와서 정상들이 있잖아요. 아주 예전에 그런 시절이 아니었기 때문에 그때 뭐 방송 시간에 말씀 많이 들고 그랬었는데 지금 선수들 특히나 100% 컴퓨터 시간에서 저희가 할 수 있는 이번 경기 지금 1라운드가 멀어집니다. 그렇습니다. 힘들어질 수 있어요. 예전에는 사실 지금이야 뉴스가 많이 되고 머리를 고 방역이 되고 있는데 예전에 항상 스타일이 괜찮을 때는 머리 숨소리도 들리는 그렇죠. 위치에서 근데 어떤 순간에 더 예전에는요 정말 바로 나오지 않았어요. 실상 바로. 근데 우주보이고 우주보이 언젠가 70년대인가요? 게임 큐가 나왔었고 게임 큐. 그때는 정말 바로 앞에서 보였는데 랜덤한 선수가 많았거든요. 근데 랜덤한 선수 웃겨봤던 게 큐브에서 어디가 선발하는지 몰라요. SP가 있는지 SP가 있는지 굉장히 시끄럽군요. 근데 눈매가 하려고 하는 게 아니라 그런 보이기 때문에 그건 어쩔 수가 없습니다. 그렇다면 무용시장을 할 수가 없는 거잖아요. 여러 가지 에피소드들이 상당히 많았었어요. 예전에 랜덤 했을 때 의도적으로 이 배틀넷상에서 세팅을 실수하는 사람들 테라핀데 이쪽으로 키 누르고 랜덤으로 SD 누르고 랜덤으로 온라인에서 그래서 온라인에서 되는 사람이 있고 근데 여자들 전쟁 같은 게 5천 30만 그런 사람들이 있었습니다. 또 허용이 되는 시절이 있었어요. 제가 분명히 테라를 봤는데 그거 갖고 방탈장 정도 있었고 그래도 많은 인성들이 제가 목표가 됐습니다. 여러 가지 이제는 상상할 수 없는 세월이 많이 지났기 때문에 밸류가 에피소드 하나하나 추억이죠. 요새는 공격을 보도하면 못 바꾸더라고요. 전에 버리죠. 이게 등록되는 정도로.
All right, we are back. Finally, we are back and we are ready for the match. It looks like herO does have his gear all set up, and we're going to go into this next game.
Yeah, we've taken some time to figure out herO's problems, but they're finally solved. We can finally get into pretty much the premier game of this series between CJ and JinAir. herO and sOs, arguably the two top players on both their teams.
Yeah, absolutely. An sOs 12-7 against herO, but herO doing a little bit better, I would say, as of late in Legacy of the Void. Let's see, though. I mean, sOs, very unpredictable player. herO, solid as a rock.
Yeah, I mean, sOs did win IM Taipei, but that was a completely different ballpark to the rest of the Korean tournaments that we have here.
Yeah,
and
a different beast. Those overseas events always a different beast. It's always a bit more of a marathon.
It's a weekend tournament rather than these Pro League individual or whatever.
Yeah, this one a lot more preparation. The other one's a lot more stamina. sOs has succeeded more so in the overseas events. Doing the marathon play, he does prepare well for big matches, but doesn't always seem to go to the very, very end and pull through. This should be an interesting game. I have no idea what to expect. Will it be standard? Will they both cheese? Could be anything, man. Guys, hopefully we didn't lose too many viewers on that break. Tell your friends to come back here and join us as we go into game number 3, herO against sOs. Right now, the Jin Air Green Wings ahead with a 2-0 lead. It's going to be up to herO to at least begin that comeback.
For sure, as our map is loaded up. We are on Dusk Towers. Let's get this game started.
Please God, let's do this. Let's get this game started. This is the SPL. Okay, I want to highlight a couple things to just keep in mind after we do this intro. In the bottom left, in the red, herO. In the upper right, in the blue, sOs. It looks like it could be a disruptor, but that could be a face in the middle of that going, oh!
I thought that was an oracle, maybe? Oh, no, I don't know. Like, it might.
I guess disruptor. I think it's like one of those ink blot tests where you get to figure out what kind of mindset
you have.
To
pick like one and the other.
Yeah, yeah. I want to talk just briefly about that delay because that is definitely something that can throw you off if you're herO, especially the stress of your gear not working. You don't know, what the referees or the network might decide from there. You started out, high-fiving your teammates and them encouraging you to go in there, and then the music stops. You have referees and your coaches and, other people coming into your booth. That can really throw you off. So let's see how well herO plays here in the early game.
Yeah, as you can see, whoa, what was happening there? As we see herO getting that double gas. Looks like he wants to tech up really early as... Actually, 2 gate here from sOs, so I think he might be doing that really popular depth.
The adept push.
And then get those Phoenixes behind that. Yeah,
I think you're probably correct on that one, GTR. And of course, when you do a build like this, there's a couple advantages that you do get when you do that, not just for attacking, but for defending, because you have walled yourself in. You can make any kind of tech you want after this. And there's no way that herO's going to be able to know what you're doing.
Yeah, it also helps that there is that expansion at the back of your base. So it's a very, I guess you could say it's a unique build for maps like this, also Orbital Shipyard, where you have that expansion that's behind your base. Yeah. You can easily wall in at your ramp without taking too much of a penalty in terms of economic expanding.
Dude, he's going for a Twilight, making Stalkers.
Might say Blink Stalker.
Inherently, there's an advantage right now for sOs since he managed to stay in there and scout for so much longer.
We're seeing actually early sentry. We never see early sentries in this matchup. He definitely wants to get those force fields out, but against Blink Stalker, that's like useless.
And this is not a wall-in, right? And he's getting, I'm assuming Phoenixes or an Oracle later, but I am kind of feeling this right now for sOs.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if...
Oh, it's DTs as well, okay.
Okay, so it's not Blink Stalker, but he's actually getting Stalkers behind these DTs, so...
Well, I'm sure he can go for DT and then make Blink or something like that.
Like, the Stalker's a very solid unit. You can use it to defend from any Oracle or Phoenix shenanigans.
This is so smart, look at this. He can't see anything.
Yeah,
he has no idea. And remember, guys, we've seen sOs wall in before and go for Stargate, so... It's a kind of a scary thing. Now, are we going to see a pylon put up somewhere? He's almost at the moment where he has to get a hidden pylon.
Notice how the Cybernetics core is being chrono boosted from sOs now, and I'm pretty sure herO could see that, so...
Okay, here it is. Now, hold on. Can you check on the preview PC GTR for me? Is that actually going to be... is he actually going to see this with the... Oh, he sees it. He sees it. We saw it.
Okay, he sees it, so... kills that as...
So now that he knows the pylon's down there in the middle of the map, that definitely helps in this case. He can definitely try to prepare ahead of time. Now this is actually a hallucinated Oracle, okay? To throw him off. This is like super mind gaming.
Oh, he sees a Dark Shrine though, so that's a really big win there from herO. I think that point of that sentry was for that hallucination to help scout. Which
it seems like it, because that way he can like balance between the two. He knows if he has to attack or defend. Less guessing games. Now we have the 2 DTs coming up here.
But he's going to wall off, and he's actually going to use his Oracle Harass. I thought he'd keep it for the detection, but as this Dark Templar's going to chip away this pylon. But
Oh, we have a fresh Oracle coming out here.
So this will definitely... I think he's just waiting for... he knows he'll have enough units and pylons to kill those DTs, but he can just keep sending DTs over.
Look at this. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's going to have to send that Oracle back.
Yeah, there's no more energy on that Oracle down there. Oh, nice force.
God.
Really cutting it close there. But the thing is, though, herO has to spend all this energy on those, all the gas, rather, on these sentries, because he needs to delay this DT as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a second DT coming up here. Now, he wants to be careful with the spacing here.
Oh, is that an Artosis pylon I see?
Oh, that is! Tosis, no!
Oh, I think herO's lost.
Now, hold on. I
That's
don't...
not in range. That pylon's not in range of that robotics facility.
Oh, isn't that funny? Yeah, I guess that didn't even occur to me. Well, it's going to finish this over here.
Stalkers are coming in as well, so...
Okay, he needs to get over here. He might actually want to go for the Robo. No, I guess not, now that the Oracle's out. Okay, weird-ass game, man.
That's some...
Crazy start here.
That is a really weird building placement as well. Wait, is that Cybernetics core unpowered?
Well, go check on
yeah.
the preview PC.
Oh, that's interesting, because he killed this pylon there at the wall, so... That's,
I guess that's okay, though.
It doesn't really matter, because it's not going to be doing anything on that.
We're talking about the Cybernetics core and SOS's base, by the way. Just for clarity. Now he's going to drop the DTs over here. I think he might actually stick with Blink Stalker here, too. I'm not sure. This is such a cool game. I love the builds these guys are doing. Okay, he immediately comes in here, zaps that probe. Sets some traps there. Yep.
Yeah.
Great play. 2 Stalkers here. Does he have more than this to defend, though? That's the big question. DT drop over here in the back base.
Yeah.
Should have one observer somewhere around here. Yeah, it's coming up right now. He'll need to pick up and back out.
Definitely has to put a cannon down there at the expansion, so to stop that observer from just jockeying back and forth from that main ramp into the expansion of herO. As we see the supplies here, quite even so far, 71 and 68 for herO and SOS respectively, but at the moment SOS kind of has control of the map. Nice tag there on those units, so he knows where that Warp Prism is going for now.
Now there's a Blink finishing up here for SOS, which might give him a slight Stalker fight advantage against his opponent, but there are Immortals coming out here for herO. Immortals definitely a good answer for Stalkers.
Yeah, so despite the craziness of that opening
seriously one of the weirdest openings from 2 sides I think I've ever seen in PvP. I mean, that was really something, man. Third base coming down here for SOS. And we have 5 gates, so I don't think we're going to have the third base here from herO for a little while.
Yeah, I think herO wants to kill SOS with these gateways that are being built. There's no intention of him taking that third base. And
I think he actually can kill him.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how herO plays this out and how SOS reacts to this.
Oh, he does manage to spot this. Keep in mind, these Stalkers do have Blink. Yeah, they're there. I'm like, they do, right?
Yeah. But he actually doesn't kill them off, it just lures them away. But a lot of Stalkers here to help control the map as SOS takes his third base quite comfortably. And those are a lot of sentries there. I'm not really sure if that's...
Well, I don't think he wants to attack in here. I think he wants to try to poke. Oh, that's actually huge!
Oh, that's huge there, that Warp Prism.
He did trade in some Stalkers for that, but I mean, you can't have the same kind of push potential without a Warp Prism.
Yeah,
so pretty big plays.
That Warp Prism was pretty much essential to this push working out for him, and it's going to be delayed quite some time. And I think when he saw that Warp Prism and he saw herO moving out, he kind of sensed something weird was going on, and he's reacting appropriately.
You know what, man? I think, though, the counterattack from herO could actually work. There's enough Immortals in here.
Yeah, I think those Immortals...
This is a pretty sophisticated army we got here from herO.
We'll see how SOS reacts to this. Maybe he'll warp into Dark Templar. I think what SOS might do is try and snipe that observer and warp in DTs, but we'll see this army here from herO. He's trying to kill him here right now.
Well, it's going to be hard for him to actually spot that observer. That's the other problem he's got here. Right now, SOS barely hanging on. He does have his 1 Immortal out here.
As we see here, oh, there's going to be a DT drop at the expansion of herO, so now is where herO has to win the game, because this DT drop, in my opinion, is going to do way too much damage.
Okay, he's coming forward now. So many Stalkers. The Immortal still in the back, not helping out with the rest of this battle. He does come back. Force fields go down. The pylon's been triggered.
This might be just too big of an army for SOS to deal with, even though these DTs are doing damage at the expansion of herO. It might not be enough damage for him to get back to this game.
herO does it, GG. Man, after that long delay, I guess herO's going to be pretty damn glad he managed to pull out a win right there. Wow, nicely done. You know, I think what sOs was doing was cool, but herO's play was just a little bit more solid.
Yeah, nice timing there from herO there with those gateways, with those immortals. He saw that window of opportunity there once sOs took that third base. And even though his first War Prism was sniped out by sOs, it wasn't enough for sOs to stay in the game. And
was not enough, that's right. herO, excuse me, breathing a sigh of relief as he has made it through that. It's going to be Trap coming next here for Jin Air.
Against Ragnarok.
That's right.
And we might see Ragnarok. I voted for Ragnarok personally because I think Ragnarok's a better player. I'm not sure who you vote for.
I went for Trap. I feel like he's had some really good timings that worked out, but he didn't quite execute them well enough. I think he's a good player. Ragnarok's had a very good run, though, here in Legacy of the Void. I might be wrong.
Yeah, as we see here, sOs and Trap, teammates, Protoss players, having a quick talk there before Trap gets into his game.
All right, well, let's go into this next game coming up here, man. I got to say, great save there by herO. I mean, he's beginning now the comeback that CJ needs.
Yeah.
Jin Air is very interested in just closing this out.
Yeah, and they could have definitely done it with that game there from sOs, but sOs is lost the past 2 games, but to be fair, they have been against 2 of the best players, best Protoss players rather.
You know,
so.
pretty interesting games as well when we actually see them kind of map out. You know, like that last PvP, that really makes me think a lot. Like those openers are really interesting. A lot of variables that you just don't have involved early game in a PvP. The builds themselves are kind of funny and weird. So, I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
good games today.
Yeah.
Minus the delay.
Minus the delay.
The delay was not so fun.
Delay was not fun, but those were good. That was a good PvP that we saw there.